Chiefs Kingdom, we have breaking news to get to you as Drue Tranquill is back with the Kansas City Chiefs. He has re-signed on a 3-year, $19 million deal, first reported by Jeremy Fowler. $13 million of it will be fully guaranteed. And you can see, I'm not at the Chat Sports Studio. I'm not at home. I'm in my car, but guess what? The breaking news doesn't wait for me, and I don't wait for breaking news. We're on it right when it happens, and so hit that subscribe button because I don't care where I am, day, night, time, I'm in my car, I'm on the road, I'm running, I don't care. We're getting videos out to you when breaking news happens, and free agency, it's going to be crazy. You want one spot where you're going to get videos every single time something happens? Right here. Hit that subscribe button as we're going to break this all down right here on the Chiefs Report. Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and Drue Tranquill is back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Drue Tranquill is one of those guys that we were waiting on to see if Veach was going to bring back for the 2024 season. Obviously, he came from the Los Angeles Chargers this past year and was more or less going to be a depth option because they liked their linebacking core that they had of Willie Gay Jr., Nick Bolton, and for the most part, Leo Chenal was listed as the starter. Well, Nick Bolton got injured early on in the season, and Drue Tranquill came in and flourished, may be an understatement. He finished the regular season with 54 solo tackles, 79 total. He had 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. This guy was really one of the top defenders on one of the best defenses in the AFC. Now, while I sit here and say this, I do know that the signing of Drue Tranquill means a lot, not just for Drue Tranquill and the Chiefs, but also how exactly is Veach now going to use the money on other people? Well, with Drue Tranquill being a linebacker, I have to think this means that Willie Gay Jr., who was drafted by the Chiefs just a couple years back, will now probably become a free agent, and the Chiefs will not bring him back in 2024. Now, while this does stink, I know that Drue Tranquill will deserve this contract. $19 million guaranteed, $13 million guaranteed, $19 million over 3 years is also a very good deal for a linebacker who produced at a top-tier level last year. In the postseason, he finished with 21 tackles, and he ended up with 5 assists and 16 solo tackles. Drue Tranquill as a whole really fit in well with the Chiefs' mantra and everything that they were trying to develop as a culture. I think we all remember that Super Bowl parade speech where he was walking across the streets with the bus and he said, "Big Red, T Swift and the boys came and got him." And I can tell you, he has that same energy, he has that same fire, he has that same prep every single game, and he wants to stay with the Chiefs. Obviously now, he gets a chance to become a part of a 3-peat team. And I have to ask you this question. What's your one-word reaction to Drue Tranquill re-signing with the Kansas City Chiefs here on this Thursday night? News that I don't think I was expecting at this time, but news I'm happy to get. What's your one-word reaction down in the comment section? I'm going to let you know mine. Get down there and let me know. All right, so my one-word reaction that I am going to go with here is just perfection. Why? Because this was the first step in a perfect offseason plan. If you've watched our videos, if you've seen some of my offseason predictions and what Veach needs to get done, Drue Tranquill was a part of that list. Re-signing Tranquill was an integral part of how exactly Veach can set up the Chiefs to go in 3-peat. Why? Because now you have your linebacker core set up easily, and it's not that expensive. Nick Bolton is under contract. Leo Chenal is going to be in his 3rd year of a rookie deal, and now you have Drue Tranquill locked up not just for this year, but for the next 3 years. That's part of the defense that was a big talking point all year long because of how good they were. I'm not going to sit here and say that Willie Gay Jr. did not perform at the level we expected and that he was not good. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think Drue Tranquill can be just as good, even not a little bit better. Now, obviously, this sits with a bunch of moves that we now have to wait and see upon happening. Is Chris Jones going to re-sign sometime soon? What's going to happen with Jace Sneed? Is he going to be traded? Lots of things still to be asked by Veach, but Drue Tranquill here was the first step in a plan that I guarantee you Veach knows about. Now, $19 million over 3 years. What's the correlation there? How exactly does that affect the cap space? Well, just under $20 million, and just kind of quick math there, it's going to be around $4 million or so per year. So with that being said, that doesn't affect the cap space too bad. As the exact number is going to be around $6.3 million. Obviously, though, the cap hit won't be the exact same. Signing bonuses are in there. From what I would think, it's going to be around $4 million of actual cap hit for Drue Tranquill. Now, coming into the day with L'Jarius Sneed on that franchise tag, the Chiefs had around $3.3 million in cap space. So yes, right now they are technically in the negative, but this is still pending a restructuring of Patrick Mahomes' contract that could save you probably somewhat north of $20 million. There's a restructuring of Juwan Taylor's contract that could save the Chiefs around $12 million is maybe a little bit more. And so there's a lot of different things that can go into how exactly the Chiefs will use this money to hopefully get themselves to where they want to be. The next step has got to be trading L'Jarius Sneed or re-signing Chris Jones. I know that there's a lot of things that are kind of waiting on for these things to happen. You need to figure out your money situation, but Brett Veach has started off on a hot streak here with free agency and just a couple days away. With this being a couple days away from free agency, like I said, it's nice that you have your linebacker room figured out. We knew that the linebacker room was going to be good. You had Nick Bolton, you had Leo Chenal. Those were locked up. But between Willie Gay and Drue Tranquill, you had to figure out which one you were going to bring back. They chose Drue Tranquill. I think that was the right choice. He's a little bit of a cheaper option, but I think he's just as good as Willie Gay. Now you have to focus on your other positions of need. What's that? Wide receiver. That's going to be the number one step. Getting Chris Jones back and the defensive line as a whole, because you have Michael Dana is a free agent. Derek Nottie is a free agent. Tershawn Wharton's a free agent. Your defensive line is struggling in a lot of key places, and now that you have your linebacking part of your defense figured out, you got to get that. With L'Jarius Sneed, I do think the Chiefs will trade him within the next couple weeks, if not the next week. Why? Because there are over 7 teams that have already inquired about his availability, what it would take, and we're getting mixing reports. Some people say he's worth a second-round pick. Some people say the Chiefs value him as a first-round pick. So, I want to ask Chiefs Kingdom this question. If you're selling L'Jarius Sneed, do you want a first-round pick or do you want a second-round pick? What do you think is his value? I know that we're all Chiefs fans here. We all think that L'Jarius Sneed is worth that first-round pick. But given if they trade Sneed, he's going to be worth that and a big contract. They're saying that Sneed is expected to earn around $20 million plus. So I asked the question, do you think he's worth a first-rounder or do you think he's worth a second-rounder? Type 1 for first, type 2 for second. I'm curious to see what y'all think. Get down in the comment section and let me know about L'Jarius Sneed and what you think he is worth and what Brett Veach will ultimately do. All right, to kind of round out this topic, there is one more thing about this Drue Tranquill signing that I want to mention before I let y'all go because, listen, it's a nice day. I got to get this video out. But with Drue Tranquill, I'm curious to see what their positivity is in Leo Chenal now, because we knew that their confidence in Leo was great. And Chenal was honestly one of the unsung heroes of Super Bowl 58. He had a tip of the field goal. He had a couple of plays. He recovered. He was able to strip out Christian McCaffrey with Karlaftis recovering the fumble. They trust him, but now we kind of see that come into fruition. And I like it because I think Chenal could be the next generational linebacker talent the Chiefs have drafted, just like Willie Gay Jr. I continue to be amazed year in and year out how Brett Veach continues to find these diamonds in the rough and is able to make them into star players. Mike Edwards, no one expected him to be this great in this past season with the Chiefs. He was great. Did they re-sign him now? Drue Tranquill, he was projected as a depth piece. Now he gets a 3-year, $19 million contract that they trust him to be a linebacker for. I am so excited to see what Brett Veach does, but the fact that he has this much trust in Leo Chenal, it just makes me excited for what we're going to see out of the linebacker core of Leo Chenal, Nick Bolton, and Drue Tranquill, because I'm telling you right now, Chiefs Kingdom, that is your 2024 Chiefs linebacker room. And the last question I asked before I get out of here, I want you to scale your confidence in the linebacker room now with it's officially being Drue Tranquill, Nick Bolton, and Leo Chenal. From 1 being least confident, 10 being most confident, what is your thought process in terms of how confident you are in the Chiefs linebacker room? We appreciate you hanging out with us. I know it's not exactly our greatest video. We're in the car. We don't have all the graphics. We don't have all the cool stuff around me. But hey, it's breaking news. We're getting it to you as soon as humanly possible. And this is why we're great here, and hit that subscribe button. We got an amazing staff going here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. We appreciate you as always, Chiefs Kingdom. And for now, peace out.